Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Good, beautiful Monday morning it is. I am not doing a ride-along video today. I have a plethora of office work to do and scheduling work to do and some things with taxes and so on and so forth. So I'm at home while Alicia and Jen is out knocking out a couple counts out in the Chesaning area. So, and Patty has got her post-op after surgery. She's got to go do a follow-up today at 11:20, so I'm going to take her to do that. I hope you guys are starting your week off delicious. Let's say it like that, right? I hope you guys are starting your week off good. It's going to be a great week. We have a very booked week. We have a deep clean tomorrow, a huge deep clean starting in Elma on the 21st and 22nd, as well as routine cleans those days as well. And I believe that big deep clean's even going to follow into the 23rd with two different accounts, Stapleton's and another individual out in the Hemlock area that we do a routine clean for on the same day. So we have a very booked week. And as well is we are down to like the last 2 weeks before we move. So we're super excited about that. We're super grateful. I hope you guys are starting your week off. I haven't been actually making as much content on Facebook. I am a live guy. I like making live video content. I love authenticity. I love people to see the failures and the pauses and all that good stuff throughout video content. I like to watch people that do live content because it leaves room for error. And I believe that's important because there's room for error in life all the time. Like, that's real life. Like, every day there is room left for error. And I believe when people make video content and it's picture perfect and they spent 45 hours auditing or editing the video to get it to look perfect, like you couldn't do it if you wanted to. I just don't believe we're going in that era. I think we're going back to the era of live content. And that's what I truly inspire. And sometimes I just forget to record a video and upload it. So my apologies. But I will be out of Facebook jail on the 31st. So I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. It is a bit chilly. It has been a bit chilly here in Michigan these past few days. And look, I love the snow. Like, if it's going to be cold, at least let there be a blanket of snow on the ground, right? That's just my opinion, and I'm going to stick to that. So we are super excited. We're waiting on, at the new house, we are waiting on plumbers. Once the plumbers get in there and plumb, the people that are finishing the bathrooms can finish the bathrooms. And then we can be pretty close to move-in ready. There's a few other things that's got to be done, but some of those other things can even be done while we are already there. Alicia actually will be. I don't want to put that out there on Facebook. She's probably got some people that she don't want to know where she's going to be moving to, so we'll leave that out. But it's exciting. It's exciting for Alicia, too. She's going to be moving, as well as us. And we've been super pumped since September. Can you see the anticipation is getting at me? So today I thought I would go over the importance of honesty. And I think we all know that honesty is the best policy, right? And then maybe we just don't know how to stand on that and expose ourselves or whatever it takes to become honest in every little thing. And the reason I say honesty is so important is because what I've learned honesty has done for me, well, the obvious shit, like, right? So people appreciate it, right? Like, people appreciate honesty. Not all the time. Some people want to hear the fluff in the excuse making so they don't have to be held accountable or whatever it is, right? But most people prefer honesty. And the reason I say that is what it does is it weeds out the individuals around you that ain't made to be around you. That, maybe you've maybe you've not even lied to, but maybe you've wanted to tell them things, but you didn't want to deal with the backlash that's going to come back to you because you exposed an area that they were trying to fabricate a lie or whatever to make it seem, less important as that it actually is, or whatever the case scenario is. A lot of people appreciate honesty, and through being honest, you're going to lose some people that are in your direct circle, and that is okay. That's the weeding out process, right? You're going to lose some people in your circle, but what you're going to do later on is you are going to find people of value. You're going to find people of value in your life that bring value into your life, opposed to suck you dry of all your energy. And we could go down the rhetoric of what that looks like, but I think you all know what I'm trying to get at is you will start attracting more valuable people into your life. And when I say more valuable, I'm not talking about financial value, right? Although sometimes that happens too, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones that aren't, dumping all kinds of crap onto you and not caring about your mental health or mental well-being. I've talked about this many of times in the past. I haven't brought it up lately. But I think it's very important that people are conscious around you and honest, that they don't dump on you what is going to ruin your day. Yeah, we've all known them. I used to be one of those individuals that I'd go around and I would just ruin people's day with a pile of negativity, right? And that is me actually showing that individual that I don't care about their mental well-being, I don't care about their future, and I don't care about their life circumstances or situations, period. If I just come to you and I dump negativity on you all day long, or gossip or drama or whatever, that is literally me telling you that I don't care about your future. I don't care. And you'll be like, oh, no, bullshit. No, that's true. If you dump all that crap on people all day, in and out, all day long, and that's what you bring to the table, you don't care about that person's well-being, and you don't care about the prosperity of their future. Because if you did, you would realize those things actually hold people back and steal their energy that they could be putting into getting closer to wherever they want to get into their future, or even having a better mental health. Now, I'm not a therapist, but that's just common sense. If you dump shit on people all day long, they're going to carry that shit with them. It's pretty simple. And a lot of people do it. And I was one of those a lot of people. I used to do that. I used to bring very little to no value to a conversation or to my friend, or what I would call my friends, right? Or even my family. I would just bring the negative spew, the shit people, some people like to attach to make their identity, to give them excuses of why shit didn't work out for them or whatever it might be, right? So through honesty, you will attract people around you that don't bring that into your life. Over the past 5 years, I have gained some of the best relationships I've ever gained in my entire life. And it stemmed from the core reason that has happened is stemmed from honesty. Honesty is the starting point. And honesty is what attracts the people into your life you're looking to have into your life, right? I don't think I could word it any different than that. That's just the way it is. I remember when I was younger wanting better relationships in my life. Why don't I have better relationships in my life? Well, I was the reason I didn't have better relationships in my life. It was my fault. It was me. It was my actions. It was my values I stood on, which weren't that great of values. It was what I was delivering out and the outputs I was putting into the world. Like, that is why I attracted the relationships I did in my life. This is why a lot of times I have said in the past, where somebody will complain about this or that in a relationship or a friendship, and I'm like, well, the truth is, you got to look in your mirror and ask yourself, why do I attract these people into my life? And now that is not me saying somebody might not have persuaded you in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you met the real them and they were a completely different individual. But most people have red flags that pop up within the first 10 minutes of a conversation that you can identify, right? And if you overlook those red flags, that's something within us that we are willing to overlook with the hopes of something being better, which in all actuality, our relationships are heavily predicated on who we are. Nobody wants to hear that because everybody wants a reason why this individual treated them bad or this individual did this to them or that. But it can go in all different ways, and I'm open to that as well because I know plenty of people out here that help out a lot of people in the community and then have been shit on. So I get that, but that comes with doing that, right? If you choose to go out and help people in the community, you're going to get a very small percentage of individuals that might just shit on you or take advantage of you. And that's a completely different thing than a relationship that we're choosing to surround ourselves with. If we continue to choose to surround ourselves with chaos in our life, when we already know we've seen them results from these individuals, what does that say about us? Because a lot of people want to blame it on the other individual, as I once did, opposed to looking in the mirror and identifying why, if I know being in this relationship with this individual, and I'm not talking about just an intimate relationship, I'm talking about friendships, everything, family, everything. If I know if when I show up here, I'm in a good mood, and when I leave, I'm in a bad mood, and that happens over and over and over and over and over again, yet you still choose to go communicate with this individual, something is telling us that we like that. Why do we like that? Why do we like to show up somewhere in a great mood? 5 to 10 minutes later, we're in a crappy mood, a horrible mood, but yet we still choose to not see those red flags and continue to have that relationship in our life. Because it is a choice. We have a choice of what relationships we allow in our lives. Hey, stop, get out of here, go on, get out, go do that downstairs, go on, get. Damn dogs, they're all hyped up this morning. But anyways, we have a choice. Well, Justin, you can't say that. My brother, blah, blah. It doesn't matter whether it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle. It does not matter. If they're bringing more poison into your life, now I'm not telling you to completely cut them off, but you most definitely get to decide how much time of yours that they receive, that they get to give. You can distance yourself just fine and still love somebody from a distance. So we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, why am I okay with people treating me either like this, or when I show up and I'm in a great mood, when I leave, I'm in a terrible mood? That's like putting your hand on the stove and getting burnt and keep on doing it. Like you're going to do it once and you're like, shit, that's hot. I'm not going to do that again, right? You know better than that. Yet you'll keep going right back into that same relationship and leaving in that bad mood when you showed up in a good mood. We have to ask ourselves, why? When we have complete control of who we surround ourselves with. Now, I am not saying with your children or whatever, right? You have to go through that. That's called parenting. You got to figure that shit out. But even when it comes to your blood relatives, you have complete control of how much you spend around them, unless you are still living under your mother and father's house. Well, that's something you got to deal with until you're adult enough to get your finances situated to be able to move out and then create your own family. But outside of that, that's about the only two things that you don't have a choice to, unless it's somewhere where you got to go to work, and then you can grow from that. And you can grow from that as well, right? But outside of those few circumstances, we have to ask ourselves, why are we, and I talk about this because I did that all my life. I did that all my life until this past 5 years or so. And you have to ask yourself, and I had to ask myself, why am I okay with this? Why do I feel like I deserve to show up in a great mood and leave in a miserable mood. Why? Oh, because you got low self-worth, you never worked on yourself, you know, this and that and that and this and all the way around the bush. Sometimes we just got to look in the mirror, get some accountability, hold ourselves accountable, be honest with ourselves, tell us what we do deserve, and then push forward and get a different outcome. Because ultimately, you only get one life, and nothing is worse than being miserable every day. And I know that because I lived it. Or every time you get around that certain individual, you're in a great mood, and the second they come around, your mood is shot. And we have all experienced this in life. I'm not the only one. I've heard so many stories. I know that almost everybody has went through this in one way, shape, or form. Well, if this helped you guys out, do me a favor and like the video. Share the video if you would. That'd be super cool. Check us out on YouTube if you would. It is growing. I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers on there so I can just start making live content on YouTube as well, which will be a little bit different than Facebook. I don't watch my language per se. And I just shoot from the hip as I even do on here. I don't vent as much. So parental advisory is necessary if you're going to go to the YouTube channel. And if you get offended, that may not be the channel for you either. I love you guys all. Have a rocking week and make the best out of it.